think. Okay. So I'm live now. Let me try to go live on my. Yes. I think it's. I'm trying to connect to my Instagram live feed. Story. I pray we have. Oh my God. Connectivity issues. Fantastic. Yes. Hello, everyone. I was taking a few minutes to connect to my IG live feed. So today's topic is going to be brief. It is something we kind of discussed last week. We're still going to talk about it this week because I noticed from the feedback I got last week, I had loads of comments. I had a lot of comments on my IG post that I did last week concerning children custody issues in Nigeria. I had a lot of feedbacks, and the feedback that I got was so unencouraging. It was disheartening to think that we are in 2021 and our mindset as a people is still as backward as it is. It's, I wouldn't say appalling, I wouldn't say shocking, because it's something I get to hear all the time. Before I became a victim, I got to hear of this all the time. Our Nigerian men are not yet ready to embrace co-parenting. I got a lot of comments, you know. I mean, imagine someone saying, this is Nigeria. A woman is not supposed to have custody, joint custody of children upon divorce. She's supposed to hand over the children to the husband and move on with her life. Some people said the children belong solely to the husbands here in Nigeria. So upon divorce, the women are meant to hand over the children to their husbands, and so on and so forth. So based on all of these comments, I decided that this week, today's topic is going to be treating equity as regards children custody issues in Nigeria. What can be done for there to be equity as regards children custody issues in Nigeria? Shadi Barre joined. Hello. Binta _. Hello, Binta. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. Stephalox _ Dickinley. Thank you for joining in. So on today's topic, we are going to be discussing equity as regards children custody issues in Nigeria. What can be done for there to be an equilibrium when it comes to this situation, because right now it's tilting in favor of the men. Yes. If you choose to look at it from the customary law aspect or from the matrimonial causes act, it seems to favor the men more than the women. Not just from my own personal experience, but from all the stories that I have heard, women that I have seen before I became a victim. In a ratio of 10, you have the men having sole custody upon a divorce and a remarriage situation. You have 8 out of 10 favoring the men. In every 10 cases, in every 10 divorce cases, you have 8 out of the cases favoring men when it comes to child or children custody issues. Why is this the norm in Nigeria? And what can we do as a people to change the narrative? It is a known fact that in a situation of a divorce or a dissolution of marriage where children are involved, the best interest of the children is sought after when considering custody issues. So how come children that naturally are closer to their mom, like in the Nigerian situation, in most marriages, we find out that the women are usually the home keepers. Most of the women stay back at home to take care of the children, thereby creating a stronger bond between the mother and child. Most of our Nigerian men are the sole breadwinners. In most Nigerian families, the men are the sole breadwinners, while the women stay back at home to cater for the children. So it is only natural for you to understand that the children would automatically have a stronger bond with their mother. So upon a dissolution, if a court was supposed to consider the best interest of the child, the children primarily would be handed over to the mom. The mother should, logically looking at the situation, the mother should have primary custody, while the father would have legal custody. That means the father gets to make decisions concerning education, health care, and welfare as regards the children. But the mom, as a result of being the closer person to the child during the course of the marriage, ought to have primary custody of the children. That is us logically looking at it from our layman's vision, from us understanding that most mothers in Nigeria are stay-at-home moms. And if truly in the Marital Causes Act that is primarily concerned with the dissolution of marriage, welfare, and custody of children, claims to have the best interest of the child, should the best interest of the child not be with the parent that shares a closer bond with the child? Shouldn't that be the case? But here in Nigeria, we find that in most cases, the men end up having custody of the children, especially when the marriage was carried out in a customary court. I want you to understand that if you had your marriage in a customary court, the Matrimonial Causes Act that governs dissolution of marriage, welfare, and custody of children will not protect you as regards custody of children. I have cousins, or rather I'll say I have 3, 4, 5 cousins that are divorced. from both sides, my maternal side, my paternal side. And one of them happened to be a woman, and she had her marriage carried out in the customary court. And upon divorce, because she happened to be from the Niger Delta area, upon divorce, she was asked to give her 2 children to the husband. Her son was 7, her daughter was 5. As at that time, she was asked to hand over the children to the husband because according to the customs of the village in which she was married, children are regarded as the property of the husband. They belong to the husband, not the wife, because according to that particular custom, once a dowry is completely paid by the man for the woman, whatever child that woman bears belongs to the man. Now, that is the customary law of that village. So she was governed by this customary law. So upon the dissolution of her customary marriage, she was mandated to hand over her daughter and her son to her husband. Now, I want you to understand that the customs of Nigeria varies from tribe to tribe. In the West, depending on the age of the child, the mother is expected to go with the children. The mother is expected to have custody of the children. And in the Sharia part of our country, or in the states that practice the Sharia law, the law varies as well. So when you're talking about customary marriage and the laws that governs children custody upon divorce, it is different from the laws that governs, or the laws that has been laid out by the Matrimonial Causes Act. The Matrimonial Causes Act covers you only when you have your marriage conducted in any of the Nigerian courts. So if you didn't have a court marriage in Nigeria, the Matrimonial Causes Act does not cover you. And today we are discussing how equity can be achieved. Either you had a customary marriage or you had a marriage in the Nigerian court of law. We want to discuss how these laws can be amended. If not amended, how new laws can be enacted in such a way that we begin to see equity as regards children custody issues upon divorce and remarriage. Because what we currently have now was handed over to us in 1970. The Matrimonial Causes Act was handed down to us, or it was enacted and was agreed upon and was passed down to us in 1970. And we are in 2021. It is such a long time for us to still be upholding these laws that are outdated. They are archaic. The people that handed them down to us are no longer practicing them. They have modified it. They have enacted new laws that are in tandem with the world that we are currently living in. We cannot continue to hold on to laws that were somehow effective in the past, but they are no longer conducive for the society that we have evolved to be in. It's no longer conducive for us. It no longer works for us. It is subduing our women. It is making our men and our women live in bondage in the name of marriage. Our children are suffering from it. Because remember that the best interest of the child should be sought after. And what good will it be if a child is denied the love and the affection of a parent Of what good will that be? Because there's a dissolution of marriage, both adults can no longer be together. That shouldn't be a reason for a child to be denied either father or mother. As long as both parents are mentally balanced, as long as both parents are fit to parent. Because let's not forget, sometimes we have a situation whereby the man or the woman might not be fit to parent. We have rules and regulations that governs the term being fit to parent. If there is substance abuse, either on the side of the man or the side of the woman, that person isn't fit to parent a child. If there is reckless behavior, abusive behavior towards the child, that party isn't fit to be a child. If there is negligence on any part of either the father or the mother, then that person isn't fit to be a parent. So there are so many factors that has been laid out that will enable us to determine if a father or a mother is fit. And if all those criteria have been met by either the man or the woman, and he or she has shown willingness to parent, then that person should be allowed to co-parent. But it makes my heart bleed to read the comments that our Nigerian men are still writing in 2021. A woman has no right to co-parent upon a dissolution of marriage. It was the man. I was reading comments like it was the man that planted the seed. So the woman is a shell. I read all kinds of nonsense. I was appalled. I was embarrassed. And I said I'm going to do this topic. Our Nigerian many people are not trying at all, honestly. Not all, but majority aren't trying. I know a few here and there that are man enough not to fight with a woman over custody, that are sensible enough to know that the woman has a role to play in parenting and will opt for co-parenting when a situation like this arise. There are some men out there that will do that. But majority are still in that WhatsApp group that believes that a woman is a shell, or when there's divorce, or if a woman should decide to remarry, then she doesn't have a right to co-parent. She should just hand over the children and go. That is wrong. And if you're a woman and you have this mindset, then shame on you, you're worse off than the man. Seriously. Because it takes two. It takes two to actually have a child. It takes two to create a baby. So why should there be a situation whereby the man is asking the woman to hand over the child because she decides to remarry? In Nigeria, I see men using this as a punitive measure to punish the women. They want to ensure that these women regret ever leaving the union. And that's the reason why most women are stuck in deadbeat marriages. They don't want to come out because these men will threaten them. They will go to every length to ensure that they do not see their children should they decide to dissolve the marriage. So these are some of the reasons why we have women cheating on their spouses inside their marital homes, having children for other men, and then bringing it into the marriage. We have our Nigerian women topping the charts when it comes to paternity fraud. Why is that? It is because we're living in a suppressed society. Our society has suppressed our women for too long. And our women have relegated themselves to the back. They have taken it as their cross. They have to carry it. What can I do? My own no go different now. And so I call midterm. I can't, nothing I feel do now. There is something you can do. And it starts by you standing up to say no to the bullying, no to the suppression. You have to claim what you know truly belongs to you. As a woman, if you have been suppressed, if you have been denied access to your children, it's your God-given right to stand up and fight for your children. You need to know that you must have an input in the raising up of your child, irrespective of your marital status. If you're married, you're divorced, you're separated, you're a single mom, you have a right to contribute in the upbringing of that child. Do not let yourself be bullied or be suppressed by the man. If a man is willing to co-parent, please, as a woman, accept it. I will never encourage a woman that has an ex that is willing to co-parent and to take care of his responsibility as a father. I would never advise you to say no to that offer. But if you have a man that you have done everything in your bid to plead with, to understand why you have to co-parent, and he is still saying no, you must hand over the children. Stand up for your right and fight for it. That is bullying of the highest order. And if we really care about the best interest of the child, then we should fight for that child. Because there is no child that should be denied access to the mother or the father if the father is mentally fit, or if the mother is mentally fit and capable of raising a child. They shouldn't be denied access. And it is your right to speak up. It is your right to fight with the last drop of your blood. Let nobody tell you, you are a woman now, why are you fighting? Go and sit down. Children go grow, when they grow, they go find their mama. That is rubbish. When they grow, they go find their mama. When they grow, they go find their papa. What happens to all those years that has been lost? What happens? You can't get those years back. And there's something I want to tell you all. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. There is the age where a child gets to, and you can no longer mold them. You can't instill values into them. It becomes too late. So please, we need to have a mindset reorientation. I remember I had a topic on Life's Journey some months ago, maybe sometime last year. I can't remember now, but the topic was mindset orientation. There has to be a paradigm shift in the way we see custody, children custody related issues in Nigeria. Women, stop thinking you should hand over your children to your husband because the marriage is dissolved. Men, stop thinking you own these children. It took the two of you to have a child. So why should you claim ownership upon the dissolution of the marriage? Why? And our judicial system is not helping matters. Like I said, you can't be treating headache in a situation of malaria. You have to treat the root cause. And the root cause in our situation as a country stems from the Marital Causes Act that we were handed over in 1970, that was enacted in 1970. It is obsolete. It no longer serves the purpose. We should all stand up as one and insist that a new bill be passed that would level this gap between equity as regards children custody issues. Women have as much right as men to raising up their children, irrespective of a divorce. And it doesn't help when a woman is financially not dependent. If you're a woman and you don't have a source of income, you're a woman, you don't have some sort of livelihood, you don't earn any income for yourself, you can't even afford to pay a lawyer, and you have to wait on a very long queue for legal aid, free legal aid from the government, from the NGOs. They are overworked. I told you we have some NGOs. Yes, we do. But I also told you that they are overworked. So if you are waiting for free legal aid in Nigeria, you're going to wait for a very long time. And a lot is going to happen. Your children are not going to stand still and their growth will be stagnated. No, they are going to keep growing. Every month they get older. Every year they get older. So you standing on a long queue waiting for some free legal aid from an NGO is not going to do you any good. So we're looking for solutions. How do we bridge this gap? The disparity when it comes to men having, or rather winning, custody battles in court over women. It's alarming. And it stems from the fact that the men have financial capability. They can hire sons, they can hire lawyers, and most of these women are just there waiting for NGOs to give them a free lawyer. The government has a role to play. We need more free legal aid for women. Women should be able to go to the court even without being able to afford a lawyer and be able to plead their case and be heard. So I am results driven, the kind of person that I am. I hate to just talk and I don't see results. I rather spend time thinking of how we can get results. This is a problem that has been in our system, in our society for a long time. Long before I was born, I came here and I met it. And I don't just want to go live in it. I want to be able to do my own quota, and I need women. I need men that are willing to support this, to stand up, and together we can encourage our legislators to pass a bill that will be more favorable regards children custody issues here in Nigeria. We cannot continue to suffer in silence. It's going to, you have daughters, you have sisters. If you don't have daughters, someday you're going to be married, or someday you're going to want to have children. You're going to have daughters. Is this the kind of world we want to leave behind for our children? For me, I don't want any of my daughters to go through what I have gone through in the hands of the law. And like I said, we cannot be treating a malaria a headache. We cannot be treating headache in a malaria situation. If it is malaria, you have to treat malaria. We can't be crying, oh, the courts are not fair, the judicial system is not fair. What are the laws that they are using? Are these laws appropriate for the times that we are in? Those are the questions we should be asking. We have legislators, every day they are passing one bill or the other. The one that concerns us, the bills that makes us suffer as a people, we should begin to itemize them and get people in the House of Assembly that will stand up and pass this bill. Please, I know we have capable women out there. We have women that can make this happen. Why am I saying women? Because we are affected by this. And from the comments, over 5,000 comments on my page, on Tunde Ednot, on all the blogs, our men are not willing to co-parent. A vast majority of our Nigerian men are not willing to co-parent. They believe it is their right to own these children. So if a woman is not marrying them anymore, or they are not marrying the woman anymore, the woman gets booted out and she leaves the children behind. We cannot continue to exist in a society like this. And the men think they are walking away with it. But what they don't understand is a woman that has seen her future and knows that you are not going to allow her to have access to her children, she's not going to leave you. She will remain in your house. She will cheat on you. She'll probably have 1 or 2 children that are not yours. And God helps you, she doesn't put something nice in your tea or in your ogi for you to drink and then go and visit your creator. Because you think you're holding her prisoner. But what you do not understand is that you're endangering yourself. Because you have made her to realize that for her to leave you, you will take that thing that is most precious to her. That thing that will break her. You keep dangling it in front of her. Oh, if you leave me, I'll take the children away from you. If you leave me, you will never see these children again. For women that are not financially capable, they know they don't have the money to get legal, they don't have the money to get lawyers. They know they don't have the strength to withstand family and friends when they come to ask them, oh, why are you divorcing? Some people are so concerned about what the world will say, what people will say. It's not everybody that has what it takes to stand up and fight for their freedom. So if they know they don't have what it takes, they'll just stay there. Cheat on you, they will. Have children for other men inside your home, they will. And then you blame the women. What should you really blame? The root cause of the problem, the society we live in, has frowned so much upon divorce, has made divorce look like an abomination, has stigmatized divorce to the point where even if a man or a woman is in the worst form of a union, he or she would rather die in there than to leave. We are not helping ourselves. We're only being hypocritical, and the harm is on no one else, nobody else but us. We are harming ourselves. We are destroying ourselves. And we are raising a generation that will be worse off than we were. Children learn by seeing, not by hearing. It's not what you tell them that they're going to do. It's what they see you and their father do that they will do. They will emulate in their own marriages. That is, if at all they marry. Because some children these days will tell you, Mommy, if this is what you call marriage, you and Daddy, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get married. Is that the kind of children we're raising? Why? Because we want to keep face. We want to keep face. We don't want people to laugh at us that we are divorced. We don't want people to see us fighting for children custody issues. Look, a child should be emotionally stable after a divorce. It is difficult, but it is the responsibility of both the man and the woman to ensure that they try as much as they can to create emotional stability for the child or the children. And the only way you can do this is by ensuring that you have an agreement for co-parenting. Remember, if you're asking for sole custody because your husband abused your daughter, like that's the case I had last week. Somebody confided in me. Her husband was abusing their 5-year-old daughter. Yes. So in a situation like that, she filed and she got sole custody because she had evidence of that. The doctors came to the hospital, they came to the court to testify. So in a situation like that, the mother is definitely going to have sole custody. Be stable. If the man is abusive towards the children, if the man is nonchalant concerning their education and welfare, that is not a fit father. So there are rules governing who a fit father or a fit mother is, or what a fit father or a fit mother should be like. So you tick the boxes. You know where you belong. You know the situation that you're in. Like I said, I am result-oriented. I am result-driven. So we need solutions. We cannot continue to cry every day, lament every day. We need these laws to be amended. We need new laws enacted. And these laws can be passed into bill. We can do this as a people. It's a collective effort. It's not a one-man show. I can shout all I can, create awareness, talk to one or two people I know that are in the House of Assembly, but it takes more than that. We have to collectively stand up to ensure that these laws that will be favorable, that will bridge the gap when it comes to equity in custody, children custody related issues, should be carried out. Binta_Ghana, you said very important issue. Yes, it is a very important issue. You know, sometimes when you hear stories or you see people go through stuff, you can feel, to some extent, you can feel what they are going through. But it is different when you have to walk in their shoes. You begin to understand the gravity of the situation. You begin to realize that it is not something you want your children to go through. It is not something you want the woman next door to go through. And like I keep saying, life's journey, it's all about listening, learning, and supporting each other on our life's journey. By listening to us tell our stories. You don't have to go through what I'm going through in order for you to learn the lessons. You can learn the lessons by listening to my own story. You can learn from it and navigate your way through life. So that is what life's journey is all about. So this matter is one that is very close to my heart, and it is one that I would want every Nigerian, every well-meaning Nigerian to do something about. If you know that you are in a position to help, you are in a position to change the narrative, we can make this happen. We can. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. If you haven't watched our previous episode, you can catch up on Life's Journey on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Tastebudz_NG. So we have loads of topics that we have uploaded on our YouTube channel. I'm in shock. A father did, yes, oh yes, it happened. A father, yeah, the father's 5-year-old daughter, and I'm still seeking, and still, yeah. He tried to, denied it, but luckily everything was documented in the hospital records and in the police department. So sometimes the police can be useful. It's not all the time that we have stories where they were unable to help. The police and the medical team were able to come to the rescue. The welfare too helped, and the woman got full custody. Yeah. Oh my God, what happened? It just went off.
What happened?
just went off. No internet connection. So I just lost that. Yes, I just lost that. I just lost that whole show. I just lost it on Instagram. I lost internet connection. The internet connectivity just went off and everything is gone. Just when I was about rounding off. So I'm just gonna connect. There were so many comments I wanted to read. Story, live. Checking for connection. So I just lost that. But if you're watching on my YouTube feed, then I think we're up. Oh dear, yes. I lost all that chat that I wanted to share with us because Oluni said something. I wanted to read what she's uploading the entire video on YouTube feed. So thank you all for joining in. Yes. Binta_Ghana, I lost that video. The internet provider just went off just like that, unannounced. It just went off, so I lost that video. Up there, find some semblance of sanity, some semblance of peace. Yes. So that is it, everyone. I lost all those comments on the Instagram feed, but I'm going to be loading up this video on my YouTube feed, and sometime between 9 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, this video is going to be live on my YouTube feed. So thank you everyone for joining in, and see you same time next week on Life's Journey with Benedicta. See you same time next week on Life's Journey with Benedicta. Sorry about the interruption. The network provider just went off and it just came back up. So catch this video on my YouTube feed. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
I think your phone memory is full. Have you stopped the YouTube?
Let me see. But I just showed internet.
Yeah.